Now, more than 40 former military commanders are calling for urgent action to help Afghans who served alongside British forces to settle in the UK, warning that time is of the utmost essence in the face of a resurgent Taliban. The Ministry of Defence says they've already helped more than 2,200 former Afghan staff and their families to relocate to the UK. But today's joint letter warns that too many applications are being rejected, putting at risk the very people who helped to save countless British lives. Fasma Manji reports.
If any of our former interpreters are murdered by the Taliban, the dishonour would lay squarely at our nation's feet. That's the view of some of the most senior former British Army officials, who are urging the government to act immediately. An open letter expressing grave concerns has been signed by more than 40 veterans, including some of those who headed the British Armed Forces.
The threat to them is real. The Taliban are not discriminating between the nuances of employment, whether someone was terminated or subcontracted, or if they were a chef instead of an interpreter. The Taliban are very clear that if anyone worked for the British or indeed the international forces, that they will be attacked.
Around 2,200 Afghans and their families have left the country to relocate to the UK. In May, the British government announced an accelerated policy for relocation amid fears for the safety of former interpreters. But some Afghans who worked for Britain can't apply because they were subcontracted, while others have already been rejected. Around 100 of them joined a protest outside the British embassy in Kabul, calling on the UK government to stop ignoring them. Like Sharif Karimi, who asked us not to show his face.
Taliban are falling cities very quickly. We all, interpreters, are in high risk. If the UK government does not relocate us to UK, we will be killed by Taliban. I hide myself at home for many weeks. I cannot go outside to bazaar for shopping due to my work with the British forces. I change my location in every 3 or 2 months because the Taliban, they have very strong intelligence.
The policy doesn't allow Afghan staff who were dismissed from service to apply. Campaigners say that's unfair because it's around 35% of all the interpreters, many of whom were dismissed for minor reasons.
They were terminated because they spent an extra day on leave, or they answered back to a non-commissioned officer who wanted them to take out the latrines. These are not heinous crimes.
The Ministry of Defence declined to be interviewed. In a statement, they told us the government is the only nation with a permanent expert team in Kabul to investigate claims from courageous local staff.